keep them.
All right, you let me know. Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to a joyous yes, the 2024 Ministerial and Practitioner Graduation Ceremony. I invite you now to please stand for the procession. So the ministers of Center for Spiritual Living, Reverend Dr. Christian Sorensen, Senior Minister, Seaside Center for Spiritual Living, Director, San Diego Campus, School for Spiritual Leadership. Reverend Dr. Kathy Hearn, Dean, San Diego Campus, Centers for Spiritual Living, School of Spiritual Leadership. Reverend Cliff Rubin, Spiritual Leader, Center for Spiritual Living, Edmonton. Reverend Karen Rice, Senior Minister, West Valley Center for Spiritual Living. Reverend Jerika Blackman, Senior Minister, East Bay Church of Religious Science. Reverend Scott Olson, Senior Minister, Ahia Center for Spiritual Living. Reverend Eunice Chalfant, Senior Minister, Center for Spiritual Living, Palm Springs. Reverend Leslie Goodwin, Associate Minister, New Vision Center for Spiritual Living, Phoenix, Arizona. Reverend Gisela Sanner, retired, One Heart, One Mind Center for Spiritual Living. Reverend Dr. Francione, Sacred Arts and Living Center, CSL Teaching Center. Reverend Patty Paris, Founding and Senior Minister, Vision Center for Spiritual Living. Reverend Katie Rox Brigatti, Online Community Creative Life Center. Reverend Patty Mercado, Minister, Spiritual Director, Huntington Beach Center for Spiritual Living. Reverend Dr. Christina Tillotson, Staff Minister and Author, Seaside Center for Spiritual Living. Reverend Sarah Adams, Staff Minister, Universal Spirit Center. Reverend Mitch Austin, Ministerial Council, the Amani Center. Reverend Janet Bradbury, Staff Minister, CSL Bonita. Reverend Lori Sheets, Staff Minister, Vision Center for Spiritual Living. Reverend Natasha Ekholm, Staff Minister, Om Center for Spiritual Living, Palliative Care Chaplain, UC San Diego Health. Dr. Michael Carney, Hospice Chaplain, Family Hospice Care, Palm Springs, California. Reverend Rebecca Berry, Staff Minister and Minister Lead for Seaside CSL Practitioners. And now let us acknowledge the 2024 class of the 2024 Practitioner graduates of Centers for Spiritual Living. From Ahia Center for Spiritual Living in Pasadena, Jeswika Moberg. Harris Silcott. Alan Wellman. From Center for Spiritual Living, Palm Springs, John Cardall. Ronald Smith. From Seaside Center for Spiritual Living, Patrick Fulke. Nicole Johnson. And Susan Murphy. And now, the 2024 Ministerial and Master's graduates of the Holm Institute and the School of Spiritual Leadership San Diego campus, Arlene King, Dana Vogt, Karen Blakely, Marcus Gilliland, Gregory Robinson, Alexandra Musser, Ashley Fuller Rubin, and Sue Witter. And I am your voice of God, Reverend Jeffrey Ryan, Senior Minister, Riverside Center for Spiritual Living. You may now be seated. And here is Dr. Christian Sorensen to say a few words of
all right. Well, I get this one. All right. Thank you, Jeffrey, voice of God. And good afternoon, everyone. And what a joy it is to welcome you to Seaside, a thriving spiritual community, inspiring us all to live our divinity. And from a look at all these caps and gowns, I think we're doing a pretty good job here. It's an exciting day in our movement. It is uplifted by the commitment that these individuals have made. And so I'm excited to welcome them into that ecclesiastical level. And so to get things rolling, it's my joy to introduce to you the Dean of the School of Ministry here on the Seaside campus. And I can remember when I first met, wasn't a doctor then, but Dr. Kathy. It was, nearly 40 years ago, and I still remember the tight jeans you wore to that ministers' meeting. But I don't think it was those jeans that I really remember. It was like there was somebody like me, in our 20-somethings. Though, if you're doing the math, she was only a kid. She was still in her teens, I'm sure. And but little did I know she was going to go on to be one of the superstars of our movement. And as she rose to this elevated level, she never lost sight of the most important thing in her life was her kids, Susanna and Ian, and continued to live that example of caring first for them above the ministry. And she was ministering to 1,000 people on a Sunday in San Diego right here. Her size of her wonderful Pacific Church Religious Science was second to none in this movement. And when this position of this community spiritual leader opened up, the movement knew who they wanted. They wanted someone who proved success in the ministry, and there was no second choice. Without a doubt, it was going to be the Dr. Kathy Hearn that this movement asked to step into this role. And for 10 years, she led the movement as the community spiritual leader. And it wasn't like an easy time. It was a time in which the movement was going through an organizational name change, and somehow she got not only the individual centers to agree, but all the members throughout our religious science, tens of thousands of people agreed on the vision of Centers for Spiritual Living. And if that wasn't tough enough, she moved the home office from Burbank to Golden, Colorado, and planted a seed where this is our place. And if that wasn't enough, in her tenure, she led us through the integration of the two organizations, and then probably did one of the most spiritual things a leader can do. She acquiesced her position of community spiritual leader and gave it to someone else to carry the torch forward. So when she got free, and Seaside needed a dean, there was no second guessing who it would be. I got on my knees and I begged. I groveled. And eventually she said yes, and she has led this school of ministry through an amazing time within our culture. You know, as the delivery system for the education has changed from in-person to online, she has led it with an ease and a grace, and there is always a sense of peace around Kathy. She is the go-to person who holds that mystical consciousness of peace. I like to think of her as the Emma Curtis Hopkins of our day. So please join me in welcoming the Emma Curtis Hopkins of the Seaside campus to the School of Ministry.
Thank you so very much. That's so very kind of you. Welcome, welcome. And you're going to want to take it all back because I have discovered something really interesting. I have misplaced my black notebook that has all of the notes for our ceremony today.
Here it comes, here it comes!
Ah, praise God! Where'd I leave it? Thank you. Oh my God. I was sitting there thinking, now how am I going to deal with this?
And there you go.
All right.
Poof.
Thank you. Oh, praise God. God is good. God is good. God is good all the time, and that is the truth. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Christian, for the wonderful things. You outdid yourself this year with that introduction. I said, wouldn't you like to just talk about the School of Ministry a little bit? Thank you so very much. And I thank you wholeheartedly for being my friend through time, and also for the support that you and the Board of Trustees here at Seaside and all of Seaside gives to our campus. So may we acknowledge Dr. Christian. Right. Oh, I feel like I died and was reborn in 1 second. All right. Let us acknowledge the Seaside Band for their wonderful music. Thank you. And also Reverend Jeffrey Ryan for being our voice of God. Thank you, Jeff. And it's just such a delight to have you here to celebrate this time of spiritual attainment and personal accomplishment in the life of the people that you love. So very special. So welcome to our graduation. And I was thinking about why I love our graduation ceremony so much. And first of all, particularly when there are practitioner graduates as well as ministerial, we get to see a larger scope of the spiritual education within our organization. And we get to see that people come in to take our certificated classes. They become students of science of mind. And so they begin to study and learn the principles that I summarize this way: the oneness of all life, the sacredness of creation, the divinity of the individual being, the creative power of our thought and intention, and the possibility of shaping our lives for love, happiness, creativity, and service in the world. And so we have students come in to study and learn these principles, and then they go into advanced training as practitioners and then become ministers. And what happens in that process is they deepen in the principles and they begin to apply them in their own lives. And that is crucial, and that is what allows them to become ministers and spiritual leaders and to stand in the world, because there's a saying that you cannot take anybody where you yourself have not been. In other words, we have to embrace and embody and live the principles before we can even begin to teach those to other people with any kind of integrity, meaning we have the integrity in the teaching of them. The other thing that I love about this ceremony is that our graduates are people who said they would do something and they did it. They said they would accomplish something major and they stayed the course and did it. And I acknowledge you for that. May we acknowledge them? We have many acknowledgments. And they stayed the course and they did the work regardless of the things taking place in the world. It becomes a more interesting place day by day, doesn't it? And And regardless of whatever it is that was taking place in their own individual life or in the lives of those whom they love. And they did it. They did it. There's a beautiful quotation from a man named Howard Thurman that has been very loved among ministerial students for a long time, and it is this. In the quietness of this place, surrounded by the all-pervading presence of God, my heart whispers, keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve, so that in fair weather or in foul, in good times or in tempests, in the days when the darkness and the foe are nameless or familiar, I may not forget that to which my life is committed. You want to hear it again? Say yes. Okay, good. In the quietness, hold on. In the quietness of this place, surrounded by the all-pervading presence of God, my heart whispers, keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve, so that in fair weather or in foul, in good times or in tempests, in the days when the darkness and the foe are nameless or familiar, I may not forget that to which my life is committed. Keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve. And so our graduates have done exactly that. They have kept fresh before them their intentions and kept fresh before them their what they are committed to in life. And you inspire us today. You inspire us always, actually. So our ceremony is a very well-deserved celebration of the upcoming completion of years, right? Years of study and spiritual service on the part of our practitioner and ministerial graduates. And they are all in various stages of completion. Some are waiting for exam results and then going through licensing and panels. Some are finishing courses with exams and licensing up ahead. So our ceremony today is, first of all, an affirmation of the completion that they will experience, and it is a celebration of it. And so it is a great reason for a party, wouldn't you say? Yes. It is very meaningful and important that you have chosen to mark this wonderful and significant moment in your loved ones' lives as they reach a new high level of spiritual and personal attainment. And we are delighted today to have with us a number of ministerial colleagues whom you will meet throughout the ceremony. Each of them has taught, supported, guided, uplifted our graduates and been shining examples for them. So you know we have our music with the Seaside Band today. That's wonderful. Our featured soloist is Jamie Lula, and I'll have things to say about him shortly. And so we begin a wonderful day of celebration and joy with an invocation with Reverend Karen Rice. Come on up, Karen.
Good afternoon. Wow, 20 years ago, right now, I was sitting somewhere over there. Reverend Dr. Kathy Hearn was delivering this beautiful message, and she used this quotation from guess who? Emma Curtis Hopkins. And she said this, quoting Emma, God, show me the words to make the world glad and sane. Show me the words to make the world glad and sane. And in that moment, something opened up in me, and I said yes. And 3 years later, I graduated from this very same place. There's been a lot of yesing going on. Look at all those beautiful candidates. It is a great day of celebration. So let's take those holy words of prayer and take a moment to just turn within and set the tone for this amazing celebration. I just breathe in and become aware of that magnificent presence and power that is greater than us. It is a power for good. It has called us to this day. It is the very inspiration that has triggered that yes inside of these beautiful souls who are dedicating their lives to spiritual leadership in a new way. So I'm absolutely convinced that this is a spectacular time, that the world has been waiting for these individuals, and that we come together today, a little pause in time, to recognize the urgency of hearing that call, of witnessing this celebratory time, and of having this great and holy honor of witnessing these emerging souls that have been called and are ready. So I know this time is greatly blessed. I'm so thankful for all the individuals that came together to coordinate this day. But the deepest gratitude in my heart is that there are more voices now to speak about the holiness and the perfection of the world. So we do bring our love, that great force in the universe. I say, thank you, God. I release this now, I let it be, and together we say, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you so much, Karen. That's beautiful, thank you. Can't get enough Emma. So I want to say a few words about our beautiful and wonderful and amazing featured singer whom we love so much. So here's an introduction for Jamie. It is the rare artist that is larger than the canvas they occupy. Their mission is bigger than the stage they stand upon. Upon their commitment and contribution extend beyond themselves to encompass all who come into contact with them. Jamie Lula is such an artist. What I know about Jamie is that he is deeply, deeply loved within our movement, and he has a very special place in the hearts of our youth. And my two children, whom Christian mentioned, Susanna's just about 40 and Ian's in his 40s, so deeply love Jamie, they say hello to you, Jamie, today. And I know the youth are inspired by him. So for many of us, Jamie's songs have been the soundtrack of our awakening to science of mind and our love of it. That's true for me. And he is a joy. And so it is a great joy and a great honor to have him with us today. Let us welcome Jamie Lula. Love you.
Morning, man. I think we all got a crush on Kathy Hearn. Bless you. Bless you. Congratulations, graduates. Bless you, bless you, bless you for your sacred yes. And bless y'all for staying here and guiding them on their sacred yes. And this is my sacred yes. Love is my choice. Love is my decision. 2, 3, 4. I wish you peace. I wish you joy. I wish you love, 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 love. I wish you faith in yourself to reveal all that you've come here to be. Love is my choice. Love is my decision. Love is my voice. Love is my religion. Love is my religion. I wish you strength. I wish you courage. Wish you love, 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 love. I wish you purpose to create all your dreams and co-conspire with the light of your life. Love is my choice. Love is my decision. Love is my voice. Love is my religion. Love is my religion. Oh, your answers to eternity are always deep inside you. That freedom of expression is yours to choose right now. Love is my choice. Love is my decision. Oh, love is my voice. Love is my religion. My religion, love is. Come on, words are simple, folks. Love is my religion. Love is. Come on, Christians, sing it out loud. Love is my religion. Love is. Love it. Oh, love is. One more time. Love is love.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And now, to establish the foundation and principles of our organization, I welcome up to the platform Reverend Derica Blackman and Reverend Scott Olson. I have your notebook.
I was thinking that when you said it. Good morning. Congratulations, graduates. Oh, afternoon. Goodness, you see, I'm still there. Congratulations to the graduates. As has been said, I'm Reverend Derica Blackman. I use she or they gender pronouns. I always like to tell you my pronouns because you can't tell what they are by looking at me. And happy Pride. So that. Oh, I see. Okay. I just want to say quickly that I have a little bit of a different situation than some of my colleagues sitting here. When I came to our center, where I'm the senior minister 27 years ago, I met someone who I'm celebrating today, but not because I'm her teacher, but because she is as much my teacher as I am hers. So I want to say that yes, we are teachers and mentors, and also when we're really good at it, we're taught and mentored by those we share our ministries with. So my job is actually not to talk about that, but to talk about the Declaration of Principles, which I had the honor to read every single week at our center for my journey of becoming a minister. These are the principles and ideas upon which we stand. We believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. This one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. We believe in the incarnation of the Spirit in all, and that all people are incarnations of the one Spirit. We believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul forever and ever expanding. Thank God. We believe that heaven is within us and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. We believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that this is sure to be attained by all. We believe in the unity of all life and that the highest God and the innermost God is one God. We believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. We believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that any person may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. We believe that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon it. We believe in the healing of the sick through the power of this mind. We believe in the control of conditions through the power of this mind. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. We believe in our own soul, our own spirit, and our own destiny, for we understand that the life we live is God. And so it is.
And because these principles are so true, we have the opportunity to create a vision for what the world looks like. And so our ministerial graduates and our practitioner graduates are part of this vision, as we all are. And that vision for Centers for Spiritual Living is we see a world that works for everyone, where all life is honored as expressions of the divine, where people live according to spiritual truth, where humanity awakens to spiritual magnificence and rediscovers personal creative power, where we live as one global family, where kinship with all life prospers, where unity and connection are emphasized, where forgiveness is the norm. We see a world where spiritual guidance is valued, where we are called to conscious social action, where people have enough food, homes, and a sense of belonging, where there is peace, harmony, and justice for all, where resources are valued, cared for, and shared, where communities are meaningfully involved in service to the world, and where there is a renewed emphasis on beauty, nature, creativity, art, and aesthetics. We see a world that works for everyone and all of life. I ask, do you share this vision? And if you do, just say, I do. I do. Thank you, and amen.
So on behalf of all of us here, it is a joy to welcome our practitioner and ministerial graduates and to acknowledge this higher ground of accomplishment they have reached and all the awakening and growing they have done. And I'd like for us to take a few moments to honor the family and friends who have supported them along the way. We know that these graduates have not done their awakening and growing alone. And therefore, I invite all of the family members, friends, mentors, partners of our graduates, those who have supported them through their studies, and have probably had to be very patient with them a time or two. Please stand so we may show our appreciation of you. Thank you. Education has always had an essential place in our organization, and it is through our classes that we awaken and grow on the spiritual path, deepen our relationship with Spirit, change our lives, and come to embrace and live more fully the divine truth of our being. And so we want to take a moment to honor those who have supported and engaged in our education programs. So to begin with, we wish to honor and recognize all the teachers and instructors who have been part of the practitioner and ministerial education for these graduates. Will all of the teachers, instructors, and teaching assistants please stand so that we may honor you. And let us take a moment to hold in our hearts all of the Science of Mind students who are here in the room and all around our world, and we have many. Those who have taken or are taking the certificated classes and the practitioner training that ultimately lead to the ceremonies that we're celebrating today. And I want to take a moment just to honor that we have practitioners in many foreign locations, and I particularly have in my heart a lot of the time are practitioners in Ukraine who meet on a regular basis to do prayer for their beloved country. So we align with them. So esteemed guests, it is a great joy and an honor now to recognize the 8 members of the 2024 class of spiritual practitioners. Licensed practitioners have a very important role to and place in our organization. They are trained, and I got these words from Dr. Michael Beckwith, they are trained to see with the eye behind the eyes, hear with the ear behind the ear, love with the heart behind the heart. In other words, our practitioners are trained to see the deep divine wholeness and the truth of oneness in each and every person whom they serve. And out of the willingness and the deep practice to see that truth, they help call that wholeness and that expression of oneness into expression of all people, regardless of circumstances, limitations, or situations. So by knowing the spiritual truth, they help the wholeness to come forward in and as the expression of the lives of the people whom they serve. The call to being a practitioner is a commitment to putting spiritual principle into practice in every area of one's life. Yes? But I'm going to say it again. The call to being a practitioner is a commitment to putting spiritual principle into practice in every area of one's life and to devoting oneself to assisting others in doing the same thing. All of our ministers in our organization are practitioners first, and we see ourselves that way. Practitioner consciousness is the foundation of the spiritual and the healing work that we do. And so it is with great love and appreciation that we honor and celebrate our students who have studied so well the principles, the art, and the craft of the practitioner. They have each gone through many personal transformations, and they've done lots, shall I say again, lots of service to stand before you today and to graduate from their training. Today they stand at a threshold soon to participate in their licensing panels, if they haven't already, their licensing exams and then their panels, and then to cross into dedicated service as licensed practitioners with Centers for Spiritual Living. And so we will begin the honoring of our practitioner graduates through a presentation of them. And I will call their senior minister to come forward to speak about the graduates, and then I will call the graduates of that minister up on stage. So I'd like to welcome back Reverend Scott Olson, who is the senior minister of Ahia Center for Spiritual Living in Pasadena. and he is a ministerial graduate of the San Diego campus, so I'm very happy to have you back home for the day. And Reverend Scott is presenting Ahia's practitioner graduates, Jaswika Woberg, Harris Silcott, and Alan Wellman.
So I've had a very interesting class with our 3 practitioners, very interesting. You know, I just want to say a few words about them. First of all, Harris and Jessica, they are truly phenomenal people, but the interesting thing is that they both grew up in this movement. Both of them did. And both of them are really products of the teen camp experience of the youth program. And what I want to say to you is please, please support our youth. What we give them when we teach our youth, what we teach them is we give them the tools to live in this world, as Reverend Kathy was saying a moment ago, gets crazier every day. It's not the world that we grew up in. It's a world that takes much more than we ever had to deal with. And so please, send your kids to youth camp. Send them, have youth programs at your center, because Harris and Jessica are examples of that product. And Alan comes to us, and you know, he's on the fast track. He walked into the building, looked at the philosophy, asked me a whole 1,000 or 5,000 questions, but then went through the process just as fast as he really could, you know, and he has deepened and he has brought this teaching into his awareness, into his consciousness, and we'll all be blessed because of it. So let me, are we asking them up next?
You could do that.
Okay. Well, first I'd like to ask Patricia Roach also to come up. She is our teaching assistant. And also Marcia Bradshaw is here. She's also was helped. Now, both of these are practitioner emeritus for, I won't say how many years. But I do want to say that if Patricia ever offers to your center to do a review with your students so that they can pass the test, you say, thank you, God, all right? So come on up, students, Harris, Jessica, and Alan.
We have a placeholder certificate for you on the way to you receiving your license, and we acknowledge you full-heartedly. And Reverend Cliff and I want to give you some hugs, so here you go.
I cried.
And our second presenter is Reverend Eunice Chalfant, Senior Minister of Center for Spiritual Living in Palm Springs. Reverend Eunice and I go way back to my early days of ministry, don't we? Whew, and we're still so young. I'm so very happy to have you here, Reverend Eunice. So let us welcome Reverend Eunice Chalfant. And Reverend Eunice is presenting John Cardall and Ronald Smith, who I'll invite up in just a moment.
I loved what you said about youth, Reverend Scott. I spent most of my early days of ministry being the National Youth, Regional Youth Director and running camps for 10 years. And I have to say, that was probably the best part of my ministry so far in the 30 years. I learned so much, and it created the minister that you now see. So the camp experience is phenomenal. So thank you for bringing that up. And you know, it's so wonderful how everything goes around, because one of my camp kids, his mother is here today and came up to me, and I got to see how he's turned out. He was one of my daughter's partners in camp. She was raised in Youth of Religious Science camp, and now she's a minister. So life is good. Life is good, and it's such a full circle getting to experience all of this. But I'm here to acknowledge and to celebrate two wonderful practitioners. I am so grateful for their presence at Palm Springs. These two gentlemen have just been a part of our community for a little over a year, having transferred from other parts of California and the East Coast. But they both share something in common. They both have hearts of service. In their secular lives, they are making a difference in the world. John Cardall is a 6th grade teacher, and really, when he talks about the kids, his face lights up. I think all the kids that he has touched and inspired to really dream big and to take these teachings, and I know that his practitioner consciousness informs and touches the lives, and they indeed will continue that rippling effect and be part of the world that we are creating. So he has a passion for service. And Ron Smith is a chaplain, a hospice chaplain. And can you imagine taking this, standing in the spiritual truth that we teach, and being able to minister to people who are in their final days of incarnation in this time and place. And I've seen how they both jumped into service when they first came to our center. Maybe they were here for a week before they volunteered, and they just both said, where can we serve? How can we help? We are here to make a difference. And both ended up in the usher greeter team. And just walking into the center and seeing their faces just makes my heart sing. And they have created a wonderful team to continue. So we have a really active usher and greeter team, thanks to them. But I just see that they did not miss a beat before they ask, how can I serve? Where do you need help? And that really is the foundation of a practitioner consciousness. They know the truth, and they know that they are here to serve that truth in whatever way is needed in the moment. And so they exemplify that passionate service. And so it's with my joy and gratitude for them having said yes to being a licensed practitioner and breathing new life and new spark into our practitioner core. I'm sure you're already touching lives. So please come forth. First we have John Cardall. Yes. And next we have Ron Smith. Yes.
Thank you, Eunice. Our third presenter is Dr. Christian Sorensen, who you know, who is the Senior Minister of Seaside and Director of our San Diego campus. And Dr. Christian is presenting Patrick Folke, Nicole Johnson, and Susan Murphy.
And then there was Seaside. And we have a wonderful new wave of practitioners coming forth. We've had a lull for a few years, but we have got a crest of new ecclesiastical energy showing up, and all three are acting as practitioners already. We've got Susan Murphy, a mother of three, and her beloved hubby. And a body worker, a personal trainer, but one who has a big heart. Works with rescue animals, and I guess you got a few kids called cats at your house that are a result of that. A businesswoman that has these wonderful sweet treats that whenever she makes them, there's people lined up to receive. They're vegan, they're gluten-free. It's a niche that there's more people who want than she has time to deliver, and we're truly blessed by that. But what she is doing around Seaside at this point is nothing less than phenomenal. We all, or I have worked for years trying to get a good pastoral care ministry going. Susan has shown up, and I'm the old school calling it pastoral care. She's called it the Kindness Crew. And she has 85 volunteers that call her regularly. And they say, what can we do? Who's in the hospital? Who can I visit? Who can I give a ride to? Who can I buy groceries for? Who can we take to the hospital? And I feel comforted knowing that the people of Seaside are taken care of because of our Kindness Crew and the leadership of this big heart that is Susan Murphy. And next to her is Nicole Johnson. My goodness, she is a local girl, born in the hood here in San Diego. Grew up in a big family and loved horses, ended up training champions, is now for the last 2 decades and more run the stables in Rancho Santa Fe, and anybody out on the ranch that has anything to do with horses knows this is a champion who's leading them. But if that is not enough, working with the animals and the people and their kids and working literally with the champions of our nation, she is also a hospice person sitting there on the bed of those that are stepping across to the other side. And here at Seaside, she is the first face that arrives on a Sunday morning. She has a Loving Hearts ministry that has the organization of all the logistical volunteers to make this Sunday go, from early morning to the last one out. Oh yeah, and she's our board president too. So brings a wonderful consciousness to that aspect of thing. And then there's Patrick Folke. A rare breed around here, a male. He's one of those sensitive new age guys that they like to call the acronym a snag, though I think he's recently been snagged and taken off that. But Patrick is one of those big-hearted individuals. He's also been an elementary teacher for 32 years, and he has retired, but he has failed at that because they keep calling him back into a classroom because the kids love Patrick so much. Avid surfer, has chased the waves from the bottom of Baja all the way up to the bays of San Francisco and beyond. Yogini around here, bending into all sorts of pretzel shapes, and a tennis player. But really, his ministry has profoundly impacted Seaside. He has headed up our Grieving Hearts ministry and created a whole grieving ministry. The first workshop that he and partner Janice put on had 20 people. I didn't know we had that many people grieving at Seaside, and they stuck around for 2 months, and then they offered it again, and it was even larger. And now other centers for spiritual living is asking him to bring and establish their grieving program into the community. So another strong practitioner here at Seaside. Thank you for that gift. And so I'd like to call up to the stage Susan Murphy, Nicole Johnson, and Patrick Folke. as well as their teachers in the classroom. And I want to give a big shout out to their prac one teacher, which is Reverend Debbie, who is not here. She's with her professional basketball player son over in Spain. But coming to the stage is your Practitioner 2 teachers. This is Ginny and Dennis. And I would like to say that the three have already taken their licensing exam and have passed it. So congratulations.
I'm inspired, aren't you? Hearing about the graduates. Oh, wonderful. So it is a great joy now to open the Ministerial and Master's ceremony by which we formally acknowledge the path of education and attainment of our 8 graduates. Everything came in 8s for this ceremony. I like that. I want to take a moment to speak to them. Each year I contemplate what it is about a graduating group that seems to distinguish them from others. And Gregory, you and I are just meeting for the first time today, but I have inquired about you, and the words that I'm about to share fit perfectly. So, to me, you as a group represent fulfillment, embodiment, attainment, realization, and arrival. In other words, you've done it. And you're there, or as I like to say, the cake is baked. The cake is baked. Through the time of your coursework and training, you have each answered the call of God upon your life. You have walked the path. You have fulfilled all of the requirements. Well, a few practicums I'm waiting for. You've offered yourselves in service to your communities. You've done the work, and you've become a true and deep expression of who you truly, deeply are. And you have managed to do all of this in the midst of everything else important that has been a part of your life and demanded your attention: your career, relationships, partners, grandchildren, and family. You each have said yes to the call and to the path, and you have kept saying yes. A joyous yes is a fitting theme for your graduation. And my sense of each of you individually and all of you collectively is that you have been, are being, and will be called up to significant spiritual leadership roles in which you will love and serve from the high consciousness you have established in yourself. You have each committed the self that you are and the life that you live to the path of spiritual awakening. You have agreed to be an open portal for Spirit to move through and as you for the greater revelation of love and good on earth. In crossing the ceremony, the threshold of this ceremony today, and ultimately walking to the finish line of standing in the world, the finish line that is the brand new beginning, right? Standing in the world as spiritual leaders for Centers for Spiritual Living. This invitation is for you to deepen in your surrender to the divine truth of your being, to trust that the presence of love and the power of good are always working through and as you, to live the life of God in your unique way, and to serve the awakening of humankind through your ministry and your work. And I personally and deeply want to thank all of the family members, friends, and ministers of these graduates for your generosity and patience in supporting them along the path of their true calling. Your love and commitment are how they are here, truly. And so to the graduates, thank you from my heart to yours for the blessing you are and have been in my life and that of the life of our school and our organization. You inspire us by revealing the power, the beauty, the inspiration, and the purpose that come from consistently living, loving, and serving with a joyous yes. And so here's Jamie with a beautiful song for all of our graduates.
Are we on? There we are. We need your ministry. The world needs your ministry right now. The world needs your inclusiveness. We don't need any more otherness. Because this other chord. So I hold you, and I hold that you all prosper. Because you answered the call. Something's calling me. Something's calling me. Something's calling me. A little bit deeper than I've ever been before. 2, 3. Feel like I'm walking on marbles. Can't still the earth beneath my feet. Is my head in the clouds, my naked legs left dangling. I can feel my heart begin to pound. Everybody said something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Come on, Just Micah. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. A long dark night, my soul it wanders. Can't see the light that moves me. If God is everything and everywhere that I belong, Spirit gently wakes me from my sleep. Oh, something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Come on, y'all. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, oh Lord, take me deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, oh Lord, pull me deeper than I've ever been before. I know you will, oh Lord. Oh Lord. Love is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Faith is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Compassion, come on y'all. Compassion is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Forgiveness, come on. Forgiveness is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Patience, remember patience? Patience is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Peace, peace is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Oh, America's calling me. The Ukraine is calling me. Gaza is calling me. All my brothers and sisters are calling me. What keeps calling you? What keeps calling you? What keeps calling you deeper than you've ever been before? 'Cause God is calling me. And I'm grateful, so grateful. Thank you, Lord, for calling me. And I'm grateful like I've never been before.
Thank you, Jamie. That's the best version ever. So, esteemed guests, it is my honor to introduce the Ministerial and Master's graduating class of 2024. Yay! I will be inviting each graduate to come up by name to come up to the stage or to the floor in front of the stage if we arrange that, with your designated family and friends, whom I will also call by name, who will place on them their stole or hood. And so, graduates, as you receive your stole or your hood, I just invite you to pause for a moment, take a deep breath, take another one, and look at everybody, and just feel the acknowledgement of this grand accomplishment that you have made. Yes. And then, if you're on, then those on the stage, Cliff and I will hug you up here, and those who are on the floor, please come up to the platform so that we can do that. And then graduates, please take one of the seats over here to my right. Are you ready? All right. And so I want to welcome Arlene King to come to the front of the stage on the floor, along with Reverend Francione and Practitioner Sharon Porter and Georgia Eagles. And Arlene is receiving her stole for the Certificate in Spiritual Studies and the Certificate in Ministerial Education. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh. I'm going into, oh no, what did I do now? I love you, Francione.
I love you too. It seems essential as I sit here in this particular environment where I had spent, before I came here for the first time, several years working with Dr. Kathy Hearn, who taught me how to stretch beyond whoever I thought myself to be and to become an even greater ministerial leader as I had the opportunity to work in a community that had 1,000 members coming to every Sunday service. And I began speaking to those 1,000 people and began recognizing what a leader is that Dr. Kathy can be. I also want to say, as I stand here, because I led the School of Ministry with Kathy at Pacific School of Religion, Pacific Church of Religious Science, that when she decided to step down from that experience, then I brought the School of Ministry over to Seaside to be with you, to be with you. And I realized that I actually expanded myself working with you as well, because I didn't necessarily agree with either one of them all the time. But I began to step into a greater Francione than I knew myself to be. And I want to thank Christian and Reverend Kathy for bringing me to the place where I can then bestow on Arlene King, because of what she saw in me to ask me to do this, and what I saw in being with the two of you and others to become the minister that I have been. So thank you.
Beautiful. Oh, thank you. Stay right here. We'll have Arlene come up here.
Okay.
So Arlene, let's have you come up. Let's have the three of you come up here.
Yes. So as I put this stole on Arlene King, who I began to know best when she asked me to be the interim minister at East Bay Church of Religious Science for 2.5 years. And we worked together because she was working in a wonderful role as the administrator and really one who led everything that was going on at the church at that particular time. So I don't want to just limit her to a title. So I want to put this on you. The leadership that Arlene King brought to East Bay Church the 2.5 years I was interim minister there was stunning. And I discovered the kind of work that she had been doing throughout the world in administration. And then what I observed her to do, like none other I had been around in leadership role in a church setting. Thank you, Arlene, for being the wonderful person that East Bay Church deserved in bringing forth the skills that you had that led you into wanting to be a part of the School of Ministry.
Give you a hug? Would you like to hug her? Okay. Oh, good. I'd love one too.
And these are Arlene's mother and sister.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, this is the mom.
I'm so glad to meet you. I love your daughter. Thank you. All right. And you may have a seat. Yay, Arlene. Thank you for coming out. Beautiful. All right. And now I welcome Dana Vogt to come up on the stage along with Dr. Gisela Sanner and David Lemaster. Come on up. And Dana is receiving her stole for the Certificate in Spiritual Studies and Certificate in Ministerial Education. There we go. It goes that way on her. Always have to hug everybody, don't we?
I get a Kathy hug. I had to get
Yeah,
a Kathy
I
hug.
love that. Beautiful. All right. And now I welcome Karen Blakely to come up on the platform along with her fiancé, Reverend Mish Austin. I love saying that, and Reverend Leslie Goodwin. And Karen is receiving her stole for the certificate in spiritual education and certificate in ministerial education. Beautiful. Yay. And so now I invite Marcus Gilliland to come in the front of the stage on the floor with his parents Barbara and Michael Gilliland and partner Dr. Brett Gerber. Marcus is receiving his stole for the certificate in spiritual education and certificate in ministerial education. Congratulations, Marcus. All right, and now I welcome Gregory Robinson to come up on the stage along with Don Irvin. Gregory is receiving his hood for the Master's in Consciousness Studies. Thank you so much. And now I'd like to welcome Alexandra Musser to come up on the stage along with her husband Stephen Musser and practitioner emeritus Linda Watson. And Alexandra is receiving her hood for the Master's in Consciousness Studies and Certificate in Ministerial Education. Hi, Linda. So nice to see you. Right. And now I welcome Ashley Fuller-Rubin to come to the stage along with daughters, Ainsley Elizabeth Ward, Kira Rose Ward, her husband Cliff Rubin, and prayer partner Matt Pleskovic. And Ashley is receiving her hood, the Master's in Consciousness Studies and Certificate in Ministerial Education. So
Hey,
cute.
he's my husband.
Yay. Now we welcome Sue Witter to come up on the stage along with Reverend Karen Rice. And I just want to honor that Sue's husband, Ralph, is here with us today. So we're so glad to have you. Sue is receiving her hood for the Master's in Consciousness Studies and Certificate in Ministerial Education. Congratulations, Sue. Thank you. Wonderful. Let's acknowledge all of our ministerial graduates. So each year, the ministerial graduates invite a minister who inspires them to give the call to ministry. This year, the graduates invited Reverend Cliff Rubin. So here's a little bio about Reverend Cliff, who I've known for a long time. He had been a crisis worker, author, filmmaker, and musician until his soul's intention led him to ministry. Over the last decade, he was in ministry in California and North Carolina, until he became the senior minister of Center for Spiritual Living in Edmonton, Alberta, where his enthusiasm for transforming lives has sparked and inspired the community. Drawing from many different spiritual teachers, Cliff uses humor and compelling storytelling that empowers. Reverend Cliff started the first virtual center before COVID, way before we knew what a virtual center would be. How prescient. And he is the author of Cliff Notes on the Science of Mind textbook, for which I had the honor of writing the foreword. Let us welcome Reverend Cliff Rubin for the call to ministry.
Hi. Well, I am very honored that you guys chose me and shocked. But since you did, I'm here to share a couple of things that I've learned in the last 10 years of doing ministry. The first is spiritual, not religious. When I was a student, I was in the room at a convention in Vancouver where Jim Lockhart, and if you don't know the name, he's one of our visionaries, you really want to get into his work, did a presentation where he was saying that we were behind the curve in our own teaching, that other organizations were already ahead of us in terms of thriving, flourishing, and getting the word out there about our teaching. And he said that the reason is that they understood spiritual, not religious, and some of them even took it to the secular. Now, I am not interested in taking it to the secular. I believe in spirit. I believe in oneness. I believe that it is within us. But the idea of spiritual, not religious, really struck me. And so here I am up in Edmonton, where the week before I showed up, there were 48 people. We now have about between 120 and 130, 135 on a Sunday. In about a year and a half, we've started to grow, and our main message has been spiritual, not religious. Our purpose statement is awakening consciousness through spiritual community. And we focus on that every single week. And I bring it forth in every single message. and the young people are flocking to us. We're up to about 30% under 40 at this point, showing up on a Sunday. They show up and they say things like, "We were looking for spiritual, not religious." And so a couple weeks ago, I guess it's almost 2 months ago, on the listserv, there were ministers talking about, are we still Christian? There were ministers talking about the Lord's Prayer. And then I get a call from home office telling me that 98% of our centers are shrinking. What are you doing that's growing yours? Spiritual, not religious. We don't use reverend. I know you worked really hard to get that title. We don't use it at our center. But we are clear on principle. And we express it in ways through spiritual community that enliven the young. That they want to show up, they want to be a part of. And the mentoring that our elders are doing for these young has been extraordinary. We had 36 in our last class that we held. It's a growing thing. So that's point one. How am I doing on time? Okay. I was told 10 minutes. And I said I'd stick to it. Okay, point two. Awakening consciousness. You have gone through this incredible experience, as many of us have, and we feel that point of awakened consciousness. We all know what that feels like when we're right there in the oneness. We're feeling it so deeply. And then we come out of it and we think, oh, there's good and evil in the world. We come out of it and we think, oh, there's all these things that are wrong. We hear people talk about all that's going wrong in the world. And yet, in that moment of awakened consciousness, we don't feel that. We feel that place of one. And then we know that what we're really dealing with here is those that are asleep and those that are awake. That's the heart of it. And our job is to awaken. Our job is to awaken ourselves. Our job is to awaken those who come for us, to check us out, to see what it is that they can grasp onto, that they can then use in their lives for their own awakening, their own joy. Our mission is to teach spiritual principles. I'm talking about at our center. Teach spiritual principles that create joy-filled lives. And that's because I have never seen a joy-filled person start a war or do anything that hurts another person. One of the great side effects of an awakened consciousness is kindness, compassion, love. These are the things that come from awakening. And so that's the job. That's the job. And the best way to do that is to inspire by our own awakening. When we speak about good and evil, we have come down into the place where people are not awakened. When we notice that it's not about evil, it's about asleep, then we can see what we can bring as an awakening. And the more we bring that awakening, the more there is equality. The more there is acceptance. The more there is love. And so my call to you today is to say, bring that awakening. That is what, if you bring, you will impact the world. It will change it. There is no doubt that the more awakened people that are walking around the world are then awakening others, who are then awakening others, who are then awakening others. And this is how we change the world. The key is don't fall down into thinking something needs to be fixed. When we start talking about stuff's not working, then we are not awake ourselves. The second we think this doesn't work, we need to fix it, then we are not awake. And it is in the awakening that we can truly transform. And it is that transformation where our teaching moves forward. Spiritual, not religious. Awakening through spiritual community, awakening through the classes we teach, which are so darn powerful. But it is in the inspiration we bring with awakening that draws them in. Young people are dying for this. They want to know what can really transform things. And it is in the awakening consciousness. Thank you. I love you.
So it is usually customary in this point of our ceremony to have a graduate chosen by the group respond on behalf of the group to the call to ministry. This is a very unique group, and they decided that they all want to speak. They have given themselves and each other 2 minutes each. This is going to be interesting to see. Good practice for ministers. 2 minutes each to answer the call. And they will speak in the order in which they receive their stoles and hoods. And so let us welcome Arlene King first.
Thank you, Dr. Kathy. Thank you, Reverend Cliff. And thank you all for being here supporting us today. I have some powerful words that are on my phone. My phone has died, so I'm going within. Going within and answering the call, as Jamie reminded us early on, going deeper. What's calling me deeper? And listening to Reverend Cliff, it is the possibilities of our youth. It is a possibility to live beyond religion and talk spirituality. I too am a teacher at my center, and we have seen as well young people coming in to not only advance what they need, but their mind, their consciousness. And so my answer to the call is I am committed, 1, to be grateful. 2, I am committed to be open in the light of oneness. I am committed to love everybody. And finally, I am committed to freedom. Freedom to be, really simple, but most importantly, freedom to include others, freedom to invite the young people to be themselves, our true selves. We talk about this a lot, being our true self, but what does that really mean, to be our true selves? Some of us are figuring it out along the way, but I can tell you, with an open heart, an open mind, an open spirit, we are our true selves. You're nodding. I would love to hear you say Ashe, Amen, and so it is. And with that, I am releasing my 2 minutes to my classmate and giving thanks for all of this time together and blessing you all.
And here is Dana Vogt.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Reverend Cliff, Dr. Kathy, and all of the wonderful and esteemed guests. You know, like all the graduates today, I have had a long educational and even longer personal journey to get here, to this unforgettable day of celebration and knowing. And my education began a decade ago in this very room with my first prerequisite class. And then it grew out within the diverse virtual community. And that has been something that's really made a huge difference in my own ministerial path. And there isn't time to thank all the beloved teachers and mentors, but I want to mention a few. I am eternally grateful to Dr. Christina Tillotson for her vision. Her vision brought our teaching beyond zip codes. You know, it used to be that you had to live in a certain zip code to go to a class. Well, not anymore, and Dr. Christina made that happen. Her virtual education completely evolved my practitioner and minister expression.
And I've been blessed to receive extraordinary mentoring by Emeritus Practitioner Linda Watson. And I'm so grateful for that guidance. And to my dean, Dr. Kathy Hearn, who just really escorted us through this very long journey. And thanks also to my first teacher, Dr. Christian Sorensen, where I began my path right here. But who knew I had a brother from another mother that I met on this journey? My prayer partner for life, David Lamaster, has encouraged me every step of the way, visioning my highest expression, even on the days that I might have forgotten. And I'm so grateful for my family, who may not have always understood the calling, but supported me anyway. Thank you. But most of all, 2 lives have ushered my ministerial path through every class, stumble and triumph. Dr. Tom Sanner, the teacher of teachers, generously brought out the minister and the teacher in me. And I am here because of his transformational wisdom and teachings. And I promise to carry that forward. And the other life that was forever at my side was my granddoggie, Sadie. And I have a little lock of her fur here. She slept at my feet during so many classes and assignments. In the last several months, both Sadie and Dr. Sanner have left this planet for their next great adventures. But I promise they're here with me today. Thank you.
And now we welcome Karen Blakely.
With all this talk about community, I just wanted to take a moment to just express my gratitude both for everybody who is here in the room, as well as so many of my friends and family that I know are joining online, both in Eureka, California, and in Phoenix, Arizona, and family down in Tucson. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. I love you all, and I'm grateful for all of you being here. So, for my answer to the call, I actually wrote a poem that I'm going to share with you. But before I do that, I wanted to just express my gratitude for this teaching overall. When I started at the New Vision Center, and I sat down in a choir practice between Dr. Michelle Madrano and Reverend Leslie Goodman, and we got in trouble, and we got yelled at by the choir director, and I thought, I found my people. And both of them have really been instrumental in my journey. And then this past summer, I met my beloved Reverend Mitch, and life is so full and so good. And I am just so grateful. And so these are the words that I wrote. I'm answering the call. It wasn't something that I planned at all, but Spirit saw it another way, and I've learned enough to listen and say, okay. I'm scared and uncertain how my ministry will unfold, but grateful for the courage to take the next step and be bold. And so I stand before you today, trusting Spirit will show me the way. I'm answering the call. I've made my choice, and I vow to always listen to that inner voice, to trust when I cannot see, and know that Spirit speaks through me. I'm answering the call. I can't believe we've done this all. So here we are at the beginning again, waiting for all of this to truly sink in. Yes, I've answered the call, simply because I can't think of anything I'd rather do it all. Thank you.
And next, Marcus Gilliland.
All of my life, there's been a love that will not let me go. From that, I'm so happy to be here. From the little boy that sat in church and loved singing hymns with his family, to that 17-year-old gay boy that was terrified that he would be cast out, and listen to the love that said, speak the truth and save your life. To the one that Left a 20-year relationship and crossed the country for a new love that listened to me and saw me and heard me. To a teacher that said there's a part of you that has never been hurt, that has never been broken, that is pure and good and happy. To that love that just will not let me go and ravishes me Sunday to Sunday, week to week, saying yes to me no matter what I believe in myself. And so I do untie those ropes from those moorings. I jump off that dock into that limitless sea of receptivity, knowing that I am surrounded by a spirit that loves me for me and wants me to speak the truth, to be in community with other people, not to tell them what to do, but to give them things to think about, to move forward so that we might live in a world where they feel as though they are accepted, because I know that I am. And so with a joyful yes, I accept the call. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcus. Gregory, would you like to speak? Yes. All right, here's Gregory Robinson.
I wrote a few comments that I'd like to share with you tonight. First of all, good afternoon to everyone. And as I look out on the crowd, I should say, you are so very beautiful. You, and all of you. And I thank you for being here. It is truly a blessing to be here on this special and enlightening occasion with each and every one of you. Let me begin my answer to the call by first paying homage to Dr. Ernest Holmes and all the spiritual leaders that have led us to this day. As well as my heartfelt congratulations to the graduating ministers. Having sat in the middle of this group, it has been a blessing to be so spiritually infused with the presence. I'm a little slow, so please bear with me. This also includes thank yous to the wonderful Dr. Katie, as well as Dr. Christian, the ministers, practitioners, the acolytes here at Seaside Center for Spiritual Living, as well as all the members and everyone who is here today. Now the call. I was actually reading a book the other day titled The Call. I sought some additional understanding of how to respond to this incredible summon for this moment. I was taken a little aback because, unlike my friends here on the stage, I'm not a minister. I am a graduate of Holmes Institute Masters of Consciousness Studies. But what the reading gave me, the insight that it shared with me, was that the call today is not just to respond. The call today is a quest for a commitment to love. To love. Not here, not now, but always. So, as I began to reflect on that, I remembered when I was a very young child going to Sunday school, that was the first time I felt and heard God speak to me, in part through the teachings of Jesus the Christ. But that was just the initial step, because over the years, in terms of my travels and experiences, I have continued over the course of my life to evolve. And with the help of the United Church of Religious Science, Science of Mind, the Agape International Spiritual Center, Center for Spiritual Living, as well as Holmes Institute, I've become greatly aware and consciously open to the divine. And that is a calling that I can't refuse, that I choose not to let go. So in that, I close by saying, I say yes. Blessings.
Thank you so much, Gregory. And now Alexandra Musser.
Thank you, Dr. Kathy. Thank you. Thank you all so much for being here. It is really such an honor. And so I want to start with the call. I was one of those children that never knew what they wanted to be once they grew up, even after 4 years of graduating from UCLA. And I was 15 years down a successful career in real estate and mortgage lending, married to my wonderful husband, Stephen, and we had a little girl, and we went to Asilomar. I was part of North Lake Tahoe Religious Science International with Reverend Sandy Freeman Loomis. And I went to Asilomar, and I saw the most incredible speakers. I just was in the presence of the presence. I was in awe. There was Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith with dreads, and there was Louise Hayes that got her honorary doctorate, and there were so many people that right now we think they're the greatest of the greats. They're the shoulders of giants we stand upon that at the time were new. And I watched them in the hall, and I thought, I heard the call. And I thought, no. No. So came back the following year, and I went to Asilomar, and there was a completely different vibe, and it wasn't the same. And I went to register, and they said, oh, you're 1 day early. Your party comes tomorrow. And I came back tomorrow, and there was the call and the vibe again. And I know right now in one of our classes we're reading Ernest Holmes from his 1924 version that says that once the allness, the infinite intelligence knows that the human being has come into full consciousness, spirit leaves the human being alone. This is not true. This is not at all true. And so, after 35 years in my career, with the wonderful support of my beloved husband, Stephen, who is still turning his eyes in the back of his head at me from time to time, going, what? I mean, during my studies, he started a new career as a travel agent because I was just not available. Here I am to say that saying yes is the most relieving thing in the world, because finally there's nothing gnawing at you telling you that you're incomplete. And so I want to say thank you to my beloved teacher and mentor, Practitioner Emeritus Linda Watson. I want to thank you, Dr. Christian, for having me as part of the spiritual community. I want to thank Reverend Dr. Christina Tolitson, who was my practitioner teacher, and at the party afterwards said, now you have to go do it all. And I go, which program? And she said, all of them. And I also want to thank Beloved Spirit for not giving up on me. Bless you.
Thank you so much, Alex. And now we welcome Ashley Fuller-Rubin.
I have so many people to thank. I couldn't do that in 2 minutes. But I will say thank you to all of you for being here and witnessing all of us. Thank you to my beautiful daughters, the lights of my life, for being here. Thank you to my amazing prayer partner, my prayer partner in crime, Matt. Thank you. Thank you, Casey. Thank you, Tim. And to my beloved husband, so proud of you, and be sharing the stage with you at this time is so special. Thank you, Dr. Kathy, who has believed in me so much. I didn't prepare for how I would answer the call because I thought my feet needed to be at the fire. I needed to be in the moment to really know what would be moving through me, beautiful Spirit. And so I'm going to take a deep breath right now, and I'm not sure what's going to come. A joyous yes to love. A joyous yes to peace throughout the world. A joyous yes to doing my part in whatever way I'm called to do it, to show up for every human being that I possibly can, to serve in all the ways that I am called to serve, and to giving every gift I came in this lifetime to give. To always being present, doing my work, walking the talk, being my own authentic self, even when it's hard or scary. A joyous yes. A joyous yes to love. A joyous yes to my spiritual family in Edmonton, Canada, who have welcomed me with open arms. A joyous yes to always walking my talk, so that when I stand before anyone, I can stand with integrity, knowing that my presence perhaps may be the most important thing of all. A joyous yes to wisdom. A joyous yes to all walks of life and every sentient being. A joyous yes to a world that truly works for everyone. Truly works for everyone, no matter what. I think if we have a world that works for everyone, then we wouldn't have people in pain who act out in ways that we would have to think that something might need to be fixed. I'm so proud to be standing here today. I am so happy that my life has turned out the way it has, because there was a time when I did not want to continue on. And so this turnaround for me, standing here before you today, is a testament to this teaching. It is a testament to religious science. It is a testament to spiritual, but not religious, and spiritual community. We need each other. I'm so proud to be standing on the stage with my peers as I listen to each of you. I couldn't be more proud to be part of this class. I think in my ministry, if I had just one word, if it was the only word I ever said, it would be love. Love, love, love. I am answering this call. Thank you.
And now we welcome Sue Witter.
So first I will say, Dr. Christian, I too have a memory of Dr. Kathy, but mine's in a yellow silk dress, very pregnant with your daughter. So when she said how old her daughter was, I went, that can't be true. Because if she's that old, I'm that much older. But it is what it is. So I will say, in terms of answering the call, I'm a little slow on the uptake. I have been doing the dance around ministry for 20 plus years. I have looked at different schools. I have looked at Emerson. I have taken every certification program from people that you can even imagine. It took me 3 times through Prac 1 because I kept moving around and missing the classes. And finally, in Denver, God rest his soul, Jim Chandler said, "You will get through on my watch. You will get through on my watch." And I did. And I did the same thing. So I've been talking with Reverend Karen about ministerial school for years, and we were at lunch one day, and she shook her fork at me, and she said, "Just do it." And it was 8 years before I said yes. So thank you for everyone's patience with me in the process. And my letter of recommendation from the man who was my mentor for many, many years, when I called him and said, "Reverend Richard, will you write me a letter of recommendation?" His words were, "It's about damn time." And in his letter, he actually wrote that. And when I told people at church, at least a half a dozen of them said, "It's about damn time." So finally, I have managed to do this, and it is with the support of my husband, God bless him, who has been so kind and sweet and loving, and the people in the Lake Havasu Center for Spiritual Living who have helped me grow in so many ways, and the people at my center at the West Valley Center for Spiritual Living. I want to thank everyone for their patience and their willingness to let me do this dance for as long as I did. And so I am grateful that I can actually say that this time I did say yes, and I did so with a joyful heart. And thank you, Dr. Kathy, for loving me at the times that I wasn't so joyful, because those happen too. So thank you all. Thank you all. That's all I can say.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And now I welcome up to the platform Reverend Leslie Goodwin to do the blessing for all of our graduates. Let's welcome Reverend Leslie.
What an honor it was 6 years ago, probably about to the day, that I sat where you are. You take a breath and you blink. You take a breath and you blink. Practitioner graduates, master's degree graduates, ministerial graduates, you do stand on the shoulders of giants. And here is my invitation to allow yourself to feel the thousands of ministers that stand behind you, the tens of thousands of practitioners over the last 100-some years that stand behind you, and the hundreds and hundreds of thousands of scholars of religious science that stand behind us all, every one of us. And I invite you all to join me in blessing these wonderful graduates as we open up to the power and the presence of a divine so infinite that it needs no definition. It needs no label. It simply is at the heart and the center of every consciousness. It shows up everywhere, in, through, and as everyone. And in this moment when I remember that that's the truth of my being, it's easy to remember that it's the truth of every graduate here. Each pure divinity, absolute love, deep wisdom, beautiful wholeness, and profound power, just exactly as they are in this moment and every moment forward. And so what I know, what I call forth, what I welcome from the divine is the recognition that each beloved each wonderful scholar and graduate and practitioner and minister, that their individual ministries are lifted up from the inside to make a profound impact in the world, naturally, beautifully, authentically, elegantly, because they are each here on purpose by divine appointment. That the deep wisdom of the one resonates within them so powerfully that people find themselves called to chat, to sit at their feet, to take their classes, to have conversations that open them up to their own magnificence. That the love in each beloved graduate's heart is so profound that it invites in a universe where they naturally and beautifully are a place where things like genocide and war and exclusion and otheringness simply doesn't have a seat. Because there is so much good, so much loving kindness, so much profound dignity of the soul, that it is natural for the good to be born anew and make itself heard and seen in every way. May each of these beloveds be so held in the heart of spirit that what they bring forth transforms their life, the lives of those they know, and those wonderful people driving by outside, as Ernest Holmes said, that don't even know what we're doing here, but it doesn't matter, because it's resonating out beautifully and powerfully. May each be blessed. May each live in that love. I'm so grateful to know this truth so completely that I feel transformed. And so I invite us all, as we release this word into the action of universal law, to claim it deeply and powerfully as we say whatever our favorite form of closing is, as we say, and so it is. Amen. Yea, God.
Thank you, Reverend Leslie. That was just beautiful. All right, we're moving into the official graduation decree, the time we've all been waiting for. And so, practitioner graduates, please stand and stay standing. You ready? By the power of God and the authority of the Centers for Spiritual Living vested in me, I do hereby declare the completion of your practitioner training and the achievement of your new spiritual title of Practitioner of Truth. And minister and master's graduates, please stand and stay standing. By the power of God and the authority of the Centers for Spiritual Living vested in me, I do hereby declare the completion of your training. I confer upon you as appropriate the Certificate in Spiritual Studies, the Certificate in Spiritual Education, the degree of Master's in Consciousness Studies, and the Certificate in Ministerial Education, and recognize each of you as a minister of truth. And so all candidates standing, you may move your tassels. Woo! And you may be seated. You may be seated. Yay. And so let's welcome back Jamie Lula for another musical gift.
Praise Jesus, we're almost done. Congratulations, y'all. I wrote this during a sermon that Reverend Joan Stedden was giving when she was up at Oakland. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sown. We are the harvest we reap, if you know it. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. I am, oh I am, that I am. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. I am, oh I am, that 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 I am. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. Everybody sing. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. Oh, we are the harvest we reap. We are the harvest. We are the harvest we reap. One more time. We are the harvest we reap.
Mr. Jamie Lula, we love you. Thank you, Jamie. All right, so I invite you to the reception. A beautiful reception has been created for you that is out in our garden immediately following our recession. If you are a practitioner student or a licensed practitioner and you've heard a call in your heart today to explore the path of learning and service as a minister, please connect with me. In fact, you can connect with me right outside. So we want to take a moment to acknowledge the many hands and hearts for the love and service, those who created today's graduation. I'm going to give you their names. Graduation and volunteer coordinator and finder, along with Linda of my black notebook, Tara Short. Praise God. Facilities, Edwin Robinson. Let's acknowledge them all at the end. Our people of sound, camera, live streaming, and PowerPoint, Matt Berger, Steve Grant, Sarah Schneider, and Tim Griffin. Woohoo! Okay. The Seaside band, Bob Mathis, the band leader, Max Sape on piano, Harley on bass, and Paul on drums. Our featured soloist, Jamie, once again, yay. Our check-in table, Linda Amerson and Dennis Mills. Our ushers, Mike Florio, Sonny Goodwin, and Susan Lankin. Our ministers and practitioners, seating director, Carolyn Holder. Our ministers' robing room, Kathy Phelan, our beloved registrar, Sanja Prince, Carlene Jones-Falks, and I think Kay Samuelson. And our practitioners' robing room, Reverend Rebecca Berry, Jenny Mills, and our reception food team, Tara Short, Karen Cole, Jessica Zaragoza, and Sue Paisley. Let's acknowledge them all. All right. So, in just a moment, we'll be having the benediction with Reverend Patty Paris, and after that, when the music begins, the recessional will take place. Please wait for all the folks in robes to walk out of the room before you move. And here's the order. The ministers from the platform and the floor will go out first. Our ministerial graduates, our practitioner graduates, and all the rest of you wonderful beings. And your graduates will see you in the garden. Thank you for being here today, and let's welcome Reverend Patty Paris for our benediction.
Yeah, you want to see me. I'm the one praying us out. Man, is it hot in here or what? Oh my God. We got to make these robes out of something else. This is like polyester. I don't know. Graduates, thank you. Thank you for answering the call. Thank you for recognizing and answering the call. Because sometimes it is like fireworks and skywriting, and sometimes it's really subtle, like getting nibbled to death by ducks. Whatever. You said yes. You said yes, and I love you for that. Be proud. Be proud. This whole entire place is proud of you. We are so honored to share this walk with you all. Let's pray. giving great thanks for this day, for this blessed day, for all of these wonderful dear hearts that have said yes to ministry, yes to practitioner, yes, yes to the spiritual walk, to being in the truth, to knowing the truth. Go from this place right here, right now, and go in love, and go in joy, and go in that bubble of celebration that you're in right now, knowing that you are unconditionally loved by Spirit. Go from this place right now to celebrate. Go and celebrate with family and friends who love you unconditionally as well. And know that you are loved. You are on your path. You are just so welcomed into this teaching, and so loved and so upheld by Spirit. So go, celebrate. Shake the bottle of champagne before you open it. Spray it all over everybody. Go in the joy and the love and the celebration, and your ministry starts tomorrow, and that's okay. With great thanks, with loving thanksgiving, we just let it be, and so it is.